During the last 2 decades, concern about climate change and the environment's deterioration has gradually increased its relevance in the global political agenda. Scientific studies point at the rise of sea levels, the increase of extreme climate events like floods or hurricanes, the desertification of wide geographical areas, or an important loss of biodiversity as some of the potential consequences of global warming. All of that would, of course, have serious social consequences, but it would also entail very important potential impacts on the world's economy and the stability of the financial system. Let's illustrate this with a fact. A study carried out by the International Monetary Fund and several prestigious universities estimates the potential drop in global GDP at the end of this century at 7% if climate change is not successfully mitigated. In this context, not only governments but also private companies have started to consider this phenomenon an additional risk to their solvency and their viability. Besides the growing concern about potential direct physical impacts caused by climate change, there are other elements that are pushing companies to consider climate change as a very relevant risk, which they must understand, assess, and include in their risk management practice. These elements include the growing concern among consumers, a developing regulation, and pressure coming from investment groups and insurance firms, among others. At the same time, it is highly recommended that companies review their strategies and, in some cases, launch business model transformation plans to ensure that they are prepared to mitigate the potential consequences of this risk.
The newsletter about managing climate change risks, published by Management Solutions, intends to offer a comprehensive look into the present and future of climate change risks within organizations. In order to do that, this document delves into the nature of climate change risks and offers an overview of the current regulatory framework. Reviews these risks' main management principles and their different forms, the identification of principal risks, governance, measuring methodologies, risk management practices, and the development of disclosure strategies. Delves into these risks assessment methodologies in the financial sector, as well as their different management and regulatory uses. Finally, it includes an analysis about integrating climate change risks in the valuation of financial assets.